Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for today's webinar, Free Google Tools. So let's get started. I'm very pleased to introduce Scott Miller, Business Advisor from our Jamestown SBDC. Welcome, Scott.
Hi, good morning, everyone, and thanks for coming to my webinar. This really started when Kate Moody and I were working on our competitive analysis webinar, and I was just finding all these great tools, and really there's so much that Google offers. I was kind of like, I'm going to have to tell everyone about this stuff. So this really is going to focus on free Google tools for you for improving your website, and talking specifically about clients' websites. And I want to give you some insights and maybe some information, some feedback that you can provide your clients that they can then improve their website. And when I mean website, I'm talking desktop and mobile versions. So really Google, I mean, we think of it as a search engine, but really it's a marketing firm. I mean, they're there to sell ads, to make money. Google is massive, over 1 trillion searches per year. And I also found this really neat resource here, this Internet Live Stats. I would say go to that and you will be amazed to just see how big and how busy the internet is. So again, we're focusing on free tools. I really have to encourage you to try these out. I would also suggest that you have your clients, if they don't have a Google account, whether that's a Gmail account or any other account through Google, is maybe start with a brand account that they can assign to their business. And this is where they can have their own account for their business and work through all the Google tools with that. And the nice thing about these brand accounts, some of these tools, is you can give access to other individuals to work on some of the specific tools within there, maybe like Google Analytics, or do a speed test, or look at photographs for their information that's contained with them, and then how to improve their photos. So really, you got to get out there. You have to just try these out. Nothing that you can do with these tools can affect the website from like the search point of view, or from an actual user interface view. So one thing that we all start with is we're all Googling stuff, and this Google My Business, these are the results we see when we're coming up. These are more like the local search, and every business out there has a Google My Business a posting. What I want you to do is make sure that your clients are verifying and capturing their Google My Business account. So the nice thing about this is once you verify and show ownership of your account, is you can add a lot of information here specifically. Like you can upload photos from your business, you can monitor reviews, you can have a question and answer section. I'm sure sometimes when we've been traveling and we're looking for places to eat, you can like access their menu through this. One thing they're also doing now is we can connect through a feature that they're offering is bookings. I'm giving you some resources here because I really want you to go check this out. And with your Google My Business listing, there's this thing that they call as the NAP, or the NAP plus W, and that's name, address, phone, and website. And the one thing that we're looking for is consistency. We're looking for a consistent business name, and this is throughout your website, any of your marketing materials, things that Google is going to find. They want to find consistency. They want a clear, concise address, phone number, and your website. The one thing about Google is they're going to find this information anyway, and they're going to present it to people that are looking for your business. So it's up to you to make sure you present the best information to Google that you can. So here is what we see when we're doing local searches for restaurants, businesses, retail, tourism businesses. On the left, we have our desktop version of what comes up in a search and the things that we can control. And on the right is our mobile, what we see in here. So we can control the cover photo. We want to make sure that we're giving the people that are looking for our business some type of image that they can relate to, whether this is something that might be driving, like I want to know what the exterior of the business looks like because I want to find it if I'm trying to drive there. Or this could be something like a great food picture or like an inside of your store or something like this. So Google giving you control of some of these photos. They're also giving you control of pretty much everything you see here with telling people what you do. This is for Chef's Restaurant in Buffalo, a very popular restaurant. And I actually got this from, at the bottom, you see a link where there's a web company called Main Street Host from Buffalo that did an awesome little article on SEO related to your Google My Business account. One thing that I would also suggest is to go and test that these things work through your Google account. Google yourself, Google your business, make sure your location is accurate, your website, and your phone. One thing that you also want to do with your Google business account is you want to monitor your reviews. Go in, maybe if you have a negative review, or if people are, how do you respond to a negative review? That's up to you how you do that. But also positive reviews, you might want to comment on those, thank people for going. People may put up photos, especially if you see here, Google's really pushing this thing called local guide now. They're kind of trying to compete against places like Yelp and TripAdvisor. So they're wanting people to become local guides. And this is where people are reviewing restaurants, uploading photos. You're kind of earn badges and credits and stuff for more of your reviews. And these could be reviews for all kinds of services. I mean, not just restaurants, but really anything. This could be if you're auto body repair place. One thing that they're also offering is you're able to promote an event or a product, something special. So over here, I found this listing from a company in California called The Driving Machine, and they put up a little special event promo button here for a coupon, and you can like go right there and get this coupon. So this is something that you may want to try or have your business try if they have an event coming up. They could put the event right there, or if maybe if you want to give a coupon, you can put that up there, see what kind of traction you can get with it. These are some things that people are going to have to play with. You do have to go and verify and have ownership of your business. But the great thing about this, and I'm sure hardly anyone is actually doing this from a business owner perspective, is the Google My Business is giving you an analytics tool for your Google My Business account for both desktop and mobile. And this lets you see where your customers are coming from when they're accessing your Google My Business listing. So this would be your listing on desktop and mobile search. It's telling you where they're coming from. Also on the bottom left, we have driving, like it's telling you where these people are coming from. And over here on the right hand side of the screen, it's telling you how effective your photos are. I think this is an amazing tool that will show you what photos your customers are interacting with each other. So, I mean, my suggestion is if you're a restaurant or any type of business that has a popular item, something that people are asking for, I would make sure that that photo is prominent somewhere in my Google listing. And I'm talking quality photos. One thing with these photos too is they should be properly labeled with business name, address, and a tag. And we'll get into that a little bit more. So I would really encourage you to have your businesses look at their Google My Business analytics. Google search, we're out there every day putting stuff into the Google machine and kind of getting different results. Well, this is kind of telling us how Google searches. I'm not really going to go through it, but I would encourage you to read this and use maybe the link in the upper left-hand corner here on how it works. But Google's going out there, it's finding this information, and what we want to do is either counselors or business owners is make sure that Google can find us, and that when someone's searching a particular topic, that Google is going to find my website because it's going to have relevant information and accurate information in result for that person's search. So one thing also that this is an actual kind of screenshot of a search that I did for ski boots. And this here, we all at the top is paid. We have our local search here, what comes up for, if you want to get in these local results, and then also our organic search over here. But when we're doing this, we want to make sure we have a good tag and labeling for this. So when this comes up in an organic search, I'm going to want to click on one of these because this is going to tell me what this product is from the search point of view. There's a little more on search here, Google search, additional information. This is very important, this Google creating good titles and descriptions. This is how Google gets the feedback to present to people in a search. So I would really encourage you and your clients to read through this. Another thing that Google's pushing is this Google structured data. Now, on the left here, there's a bunch of different categories and things that Google's pushing for this structured data, like things like a recipe. Google's really kind of wanting recipes structured now, so that really it's kind of going to that whole voice thing in the voice search and our smart robot things that are coming down the line. So these things can go out there, find them, and then actually read them back to you. But also, like over here, like logo. If everyone's putting a logo or some kind of main picture on their business page, Google wants you to tell them that this thing is a logo. So they can, when the Google bot goes out there and finds it, it's going to know that this logo corresponds to your business. One thing also that we have is Google Images. Tons of images on the web. We're very image driven as people, but Google is not very good at reading images. It's coming along. The artificial intelligence is getting better, that they are going to be able to start actually reading images, knowing what images are on there. Same thing with videos. They're almost going to be able to tell you what's on a video in a written form. But right now, we need to tell Google what it exactly is, this image here of this ski boot. So one thing that we have is we have the descriptions and file names and a thing called an alt text. So this ski boot here is labeled. It's with where it says Del Bello 2014 Viper 120. So it's telling what this is here. So we want to make sure our pictures are labeled correctly. And then there's also this here called an alt tag. This you can, if the image doesn't have a description, you can put an alt tag in this and tell exactly what this is. So this is an example of a good label. And then my other one down here is insufficient labeling for a restaurant here that I found locally that has a picture of this burger and fries, and they just have Forte the restaurant, and then this is just file name image3.jpg. So Google is not going to find this image. They're going to just skip right over this thing because it's not telling them what it is. So Google Images, any image on your website, let's label it correctly and possibly add an alt tag. This can be done, when you're through your website host or whoever's building it. If people are doing it themselves, that they have to label these items correctly. Okay, Google Maps. Google Maps and Google Street View. These are also ways where people are finding you and finding your business. You want to make sure, again, that you can add photos directly to Google Maps and Google Street View. And Google Street View is really pushing 360-degree photos. This would be like your business exterior of your business where people could find it if they're driving. It takes a little bit more to actually put a 360 photo up, but people can upload photos through Google Maps, and especially over here on the right where you have food, retail, and tourism businesses. These things should all be labeled correctly with business name, location, city, state, product category. Because when people are just taking a photo, if I take a picture of a food while I'm sitting in a restaurant and it's just going into my phone, it's just going in as like image so-and-so with a number behind it. But if I want to put that on Google Maps, I really have to go in and annotate that photo and tell it what it is. And it does take a little bit more, but if you're a business owner, I would spend some time in getting quality photos of my business on Google Maps with the correct annotations for name, location, and tags. This isn't good. Okay, YouTube is also the second largest search engine behind Google. And if you're a business, you may want to think about putting some content on YouTube. I mean, this could be a demo video, this could be an interior video of your business. It could be like a how-to, it could be of products, but you want to get your business name the same as your Google My Business listing name for your channel, properly labeled, things, tags. In our internship program, we've had a lot of companies do a lot of little short videos. I mean, these things could be a minute to maybe 3 or 4 minutes long. One thing that I will say, if you do a video, is be prepared, have a script, and make sure you edit the video. And you can edit a video right in YouTube, and or use other software to edit it and then upload it. You want to maybe do this to give Google more authority. Like, you want to tell Google, hey, here's my business and we're a really good business, so show us in the search results. I may have showed this a little bit when we did the competitive webinar, this Think with Google, and the tools. Are some really good fun tools here to work with, and these again are all free. You can just go and access these. We have the Google Trends, and this is something even Evelyn had mentioned the other week with Google Trends and looking stuff up with this. So I searched the term ski boots, and these are the results it's giving me. It's showing me the interest. So like in the winter, last winter here, and then through the summer, and now we're in the fall and into the winter, the interest is going back up. Shows by interest by place. And then you have down here is you can get related topics and related queries. And it kind of shows you what's related to ski boots. And make sure you toggle between rising and top, so that there's going to be top searches and then things that are rising. And then also is up here in the left, upper left, is you can change the time frame. So if I was maybe creating content for my website, I would think about changing to a more relative period for maybe just the last like month or 2 months, and see what changes they are in interest in ski boots. Also, consumer tools. This Shopping Insights is a great tool. Takes trends to another level. And again, it's something you just go and you can put in products, brand names. You can compare things. I think you can compare up to 4 different things. You can see where people are looking for these. You can see if people are searching more on mobile or desktop. And if I had a business and I did some research and I found that more people are searching for my business on mobile, I would gear my website to be more mobile friendly. Also, there's a part of this is the consumer barometer, where this Google's giving you insights into how people buy. And you can go in there, and there's on this side right here with all these drop down boxes, you can get all this information related to how people buy. And you may want to think about your product or a client, what's their purchase behavior? How do people research products? How many steps do they take before they actually buy? So some really kind of neat information to dig into there. Google also has this really cool thing that I found called Google Market Finder. This is for someone that's really kind of looking to sell internationally. So we've talked about some of our local businesses more with like Google My Business. And if someone has a client that's looking at selling internationally, Google has this thing that you can go and put your website in, and it's going to give you information related to maybe the best markets that your product you should look at selling in, or kind of attacking those markets. So I did a friend's website that he sells ski stuff. He has an online ski store called Ski Yard. So when the results come up for Ski Yard, it's giving me some categories that I may want to think of And then it's telling me my top 3 markets. It's giving me Japan, Germany, United Kingdom. And the nice thing about this is Google will give you all kinds of information related to these markets. You have to own the website and you have to have a Google account and go in here and tell Google, like, hey, give me my report. And they will give you a bunch of information. They also have a lot, like, and this is just some good research, even if people want to do, is all these here, these buttons here on the left-hand side, the lower left, are all clickable and give you information of what it is to sell in other markets. Like, how do people in Japan buy? How do people in Germany buy? How do people in the United Kingdom buy? How do I ship there? How do I take payments? That's all included in this. So it's really interesting. Even if you're not looking at selling internationally, you may want to just run your website through there. You might even get some insights that you may not even known about. So Google also has an amazing array of free tools to test websites, mobile and desktop. So these are some of the free tools, and I'm giving you a link here at the top. And again, you're going to want to go in, you can play with these, you can put in websites. Every website may not work, but you can go in. You do need, some of them you do need a Google account, but some of them you just go in and play with those. So one of the cool tools, in addition to the ones that I just showed you, is this Lighthouse Developers tool. This is something where it's going to analyze a website and give you a lot of things that you could give to your client to give them some insights into improving their website. So what you do is, I'm going to analyze SkiYard. I click up in the upper right, and you have to be in Google Chrome to do this. Go to More Tools, go to Developer Tools. You want to click on Audits. Make sure the Audits is coming up. You can audit either mobile or desktop. So I'm going to run an audit on the desktop version. It takes maybe a minute or so, and as it's fetching your information, it also gives you some tips and stuff here that Google has found out just through all the work that they've done on how to improve websites. So it's loading. And you can do this for any website. You don't have to own it or anything. You can look at anyone's website for this. It's kind of fun to maybe just look at some other websites and see what's out there. I would encourage you to tell your clients to maybe do an analysis of a couple of their competitors and find out maybe where they're doing a little bit better. So from a performance standpoint, that SkiYard could be doing a little bit better in performance. But look on the right-hand side, they're doing very well for SEO. This means that they have good heading descriptions. Their content has keywords in it relevant to the description. Their photos are labeled correctly. So as you go down through here, it's going to give you a bunch of stuff, and you can go through and you can drop down and you can say, like, okay, here's some stuff with some images, and Google is telling you that you could have some savings if you compress these images or load them in a different format, and it's going to speed your website up a little bit. It's all about speed. People want this information quickly. We've all done searches, and if a website doesn't come up fast, we just think that website really has no authority, or we just click off and go find a different website that loads quickly. So we want a website that loads quickly, that has good content and relevant content. And also, we want call to actions on our website. What's going to motivate the people viewing our website to purchase or to click through or to take an action, to call us, to ask for directions? So this is a really fun tool. Again, you have to go explore it. I admit I don't know what all this stuff means, and I don't think you have to, but here's some things you might want to just give to your client to say, hey, maybe you need these things checked out. Right here where it says elements using attributes correctly, what it also does is it says, hey, here's some photos that should probably have that alt tag because it's not telling us what these photos are. These are like an Instagram plugin here, so maybe you really don't need that. But if this is a different website, it's going to tell you what these photos are that says, hey, give me some more information. I want to know what these are. So also, if we come down to SEO, and that's, SEO is so popular. If you're not ranking well for SEO, let's improve that. And again, you can go down and click these and see where you're failing. It's fun. It's kind of a neat tool. I would really encourage people to check that out. Another thing, and this is fun to look at, get a lot of research information, is the keyword planner tool. You will need a Google account to access this. I did just a search on ski boots, and what it's giving you is relevant words and searches that people are doing in Google. This is really, the keyword planner is really geared for people doing paid ads. But what you can do is do a lot of research on this for content, either in posts, blogs, on your website, and put some of these words in here that people are actually searching. Like maybe I do an article on, women's ski boots, because that's a separate topic, versus just ski boots or men's ski boots. Like if I'm targeting that, I want to make sure that I'm putting some of these words in here relevant to what my client and my audience is. So that's the thing you want. Everything has to be geared for people that are looking for you on the internet, not for you, not for your business, for the end user. What does that end user want to see? They want to see these keywords because this relates to what I'm looking for. And you can go and search anything you want and give yourself some information here. This also does things like negative keywords. You could do an ad campaign from this. I know that people have heard about Google Analytics and may not have ever really looked at it. So if there's one thing, probably of all the tools I'm giving you today, is make sure your clients are running Google Analytics on their website. I would bet that most individuals, businesses, they already have Google Analytics installed. They just may not know it, especially if they're using some type third party or using someone to build their website. But if not, they want to get Google Analytics installed and get a Google Analytics account. And then you can really see who is using your website. Who are your visitors? I know a lot of times businesses may think they know their customers, but this is really going to tell you who your customers are. It really touches on 3 different areas: the audience, who your audience is, your acquisition, how you're getting that audience, and how they are interacting with your website. They also have conversions. This is kind of related more to ads and e-commerce. And you may not get a lot of information down there if you're not running campaigns or have e-commerce on your platform. What's really cool is Google wants you to use this product. So they have some Google demo accounts, and I'll show you that now. And here's the Google demo account. So I'm on audience overview, and it's giving you, like a dozen sub points of interest here that we could click on related to your audience. And you want to find out who they are. So let's click on demographics. I can see who's my overview, who is visiting my website, male, female, age ranges. It's really pretty amazing what kind of information you can get on this. Where are they from? So like what language, what location, and what this does is our analytics, when we put something out on the web, we really don't know how successful it is until we look at our analytics. And then we can change maybe the methods or the ways that we're trying to interact with our customer, the way that we're reaching our customers, who we even think they are. Like maybe the people coming to your website really aren't the people you think they are. So you may have to go back and change your marketing, change the way that you're marketing to them. It's really amazing that the information that you can get from this Google Analytics. Clicking down to acquisition. So this is where they're coming from. Are you're getting from organic search, where this is maybe some of those keywords that the people are searching? Are they coming directly from, like maybe they saw your www.skiyard someplace and that's like what they put in? Is it coming from a referral or an affiliate website or through social? So again, these things can help your client better identify who's interacting with their website. And so like I'm getting a lot through organic search. I want to make sure that I have a lot of really good keywords and relevant keywords to people that are searching for this. An example like would be the skis again. So people are out there searching for skis, ski boots, things related to skis. I'm going to want to make sure I'm doing well in organic search, because obviously people are finding me through that. And one thing also that I really like, we could talk about who's coming to our website, who our audience is, but one thing that a tool that I don't think people are looking at enough, because things are down a little further and you have to click through to them, is the flow. How people are interacting with our website. So they come to our home page, then they go to another page, and then they leave. This red, so like we have tons of people dropping off. So like I'm going to say to myself, why are people leaving this page? Is it not relevant? They're coming to my homepage. I'm getting 8,500 people to my homepage, but then I'm getting a ton of people dropping off. So what's on this particular page? You can click right through to this page, and maybe there's no call to action, or maybe the content on that page isn't relevant to get people to engage with my website more. And then same thing here, where they click through, you can kind of keep seeing this and where they are. We want to make sure we're giving people a call to action and limit the number of drop-offs. And you can do this for different sources here, where people are coming into your website and how they're interacting with it. And I really like this one, because this really shows how people are interacting with your website, and this gives you things to remedy. Just like who's using our website, how people are using your website is probably even more important. So this is Google Analytics demo account. Give it a try, totally free. Another thing that Google has, which actually embeds with Google Analytics, is the Google Search Console. This lets you give a deeper insight into the terms and search words that people are using to find your website. Here's a screenshot of a Google Search Console, and over here where it says query, these are the words that people are using to find your website and some of the pages that it's taking them to. So one thing that also happens with our website is people are not always coming through on the home page. They might be accessing a different page that's linked from somewhere else, or has relevant information that they're looking for related to their search. So, and it's also telling you where your position is in a rank here on Google. So like Google Merchandise Store is very direct query. Like people that are Googling that want to go there. So it's giving you a good rank for that. And it's getting, a lot of click-throughs, where this Google Shop, people are going there, but a lot of people, not as many people are actually clicking through it. So one thing you can do is you can integrate Google Search Console into your Google Analytics. Okay. This Google Advertiser community, this is a website that Google offers that gives you a lot of tools and assistance and guidance for some of the stuff that I had mentioned. One thing also is mobile. Mobile is so strong right now. There's more really activity on mobile than desktops nowadays. So one thing that I would encourage again, and I know I've said this 4 times, is have your listing on Google My Business for your mobile and make sure you're looking at the insights. We can get so much information from those insights. How people are finding you, what photos they like. You know, are they going to your website? Are they asking for driving directions? So there's so much information in there. You want to make sure your website works properly through mobile. Google also gives us this mobile-friendly test. You can go in there, put in a website, and it's going to tell you, hey, is my page mobile-friendly? And over here on the right, it's giving you some information related to maybe why it's not or how you can improve it. So again, you can put in any website. You don't have to own it. It may not interact with every website. Some of the websites say, hey, what is this thing trying to analyze my website? I'm not going to let it happen. But most websites that I've seen have been able to do this test, this mobile-friendly test. So 2 other tools that Google has is this Test My Site and this Speed Scorecard. So you go to the Test My Site. I used Ford as an example, and what it does is you can analyze your website for how long it takes to load, and on different networks, whether it's 3G, 4G, and then again, it's giving you some information saying, hey, this does not load fast, and you're losing a lot of people. And if you speed it up, in number 2, that you really want to get down into that excellent range, 3-4 second load time. And it's telling us by a couple fixes over here on number 3 that we could speed this up by 3 seconds. That would really change our visitor drop-off loss. So if you do have a company that's very mobile intense, I would encourage them to look at some of these mobile tools. What they also have is this kind of taking the speed test and taking that a little further, is this mobile calculator for how much money you possibly could either like make by having your website, your mobile website, a little faster. So you can put in your website, and then down here, it's a little hard to see, but if you know, again, you have to go and know your analytics of how many people are visiting your website and like how much they're ordering. And if you change this here to speed, say you speed this up to like 5 seconds or 6 seconds, it's going to tell you how much it can impact your bottom line. So if I'm selling anything over mobile, I'm going to want to really maximize this to the best of my ability here. What can I do to make my website faster, which is going to translate to dollars? And that's really, I mean, we want people to sell, and they're giving you these tools to tell you, hey, this is what is going to help your website. They also have this great website that gives you more tools called PageSpeed Insights. This is really neat. I have 2 slides here. It gives you a mobile score and a desktop score, similar to that Lighthouse tool that I showed earlier. But you can kind of look at these on one screen, toggle between them, and get some reports. And again, it's telling you some things that you can do to speed this up. So if I can take these images, because that ski yard, the website that I use for my demonstration, has a lot of pictures on it. You can potentially speed that website up by 5 seconds on mobile, and that would really reduce the amount of drop-offs. And you can go out there and test this. You can put anything in there. It's kind of a neat tool. One thing also that we have is the rise of voice search. The Siris, the OK Google, the Alexa, the Cortana. This is coming out. You know, more people have these in their homes. We're using voice search while we're driving. And on the right here, we have reasons why voice is getting better. The voice recognition software is getting better. People can speak faster, they can type. They may not have their hands free. So we really there's a lot of information coming now about how to structure your website to be more voice friendly. And that's using sentences in certain ways, being like proper English, or just, not using slang words, or maybe you should use a proper word, or maybe words that have two meanings. And this is kind of goes along with a lot of that structured data that Google is pushing. So I think I have one more. I'm going to give you guys one more really cool test here. This is part of it. I didn't include this in the slides, but what I would go is you want to go to this webspeedtest.com Cloudinary, or just type into Cloudinary into Google, throw in your website, and what it does is it analyzes the images on that page. So here again, I did ski yard, and it analyzes this page, and it's going to give you a ranking for how you do for the images on your page. And the neat thing is it tells you, like, hey, is this a good image? Also gives you the description here, and it gives you how much you could potentially save in savings by switching to different formats here, a different compression ratio. Google's pushing something called JPEG 2000. I don't even know what that is, because I don't do this stuff. But if I was going to work with my web developer, I would say, hey, like, I want these photos to load faster, because this is a very web heavy photo website, but it kind of drives this website. Like, people want to see skis, they want to see them in action, they want to see what they're potentially buying. But you can throw in any website, look at the photos, see the potential savings, and have some real world results with this. This is what I love about all these free Google tools. They're giving you this stuff so you can improve your website. Who doesn't want that? So I really, would say let's work on those to improve our website, and, send some of this stuff out to our clients. Kind of going back to the search, this is what people are searching for voice. So to kind of go back to that, if you're a restaurant or cafe, you want to make sure that you are hitting on voice search. This is from brightlocal.com. This is a study that they did, and kind of by interest from left to right, the things that people are doing and searching for voice. So if I'm a business over in here, I'm going to want to make sure that maybe I'm optimized for voice. So one thing that I also want to leave you guys with, same thing we did in previous, is set time aside for this. I'm going to say like a half hour per month is to go and look at your Google My Business listing, and also your website through the Google Analytics for both desktop and mobile. You can run some of these reports in seconds and maybe look at some photos that are working for you or not. Or if you do make a change to your Google My Business listing, make sure you take that item down. If it's like a seasonal or some type of holiday thing, or if you put a coupon up there for a couple weeks, make sure you take that down. So make sure that people are getting real, live, relevant information that is current to the time frame that they're in now. Also, one thing is make sure that when you're creating content, is we're preparing for this, we're planning, executing. I'm saying upload and then see the success of it, and then repeat. So maybe put something else up there, change. So this is really important. Something that we've really learned from the internship program is make sure we're putting up information that's relevant to the individuals we're trying to reach, but it's prepared. Does the picture look good? Is the description good? Is the description fit the picture? Does my website have the information written out in a clear, concise way that people are going to want to interact with my page? Make sure that everyone gets the slides. I know I tried to go really fast because of time, and I gave you guys a lot, but again, it's something that you just have to go out there and you have to try these things. You can't hurt anything. You can't, cause any problem on the other end for the website. This article here, this Think with Google Consumer Insights of what people should look for into 2019, is a pretty interesting article. Maybe you could send that to your clients. I would encourage you to just take some client websites, throw them into some of these tools, and kind of get a feel for this. I mean, and again, we're not here to replace any webmasters or people that are providing web services. We're here to improve our clients' websites so they sell more. And these tools will allow you to do that.